You're gonna feel some cold, the cold of an iron steel. That's right, I'm talking about me. Oh, I'm gonna be lifting weights butt naked by the freeway. You didn't expect that, did you, Herschel? Oh, I got a cart full of weights. I got a whole bunch of Mennonites, and we're getting swole this weekend. Jacob's on trend. Oh, Isaiah's on Decaball. Ooh, somebody passed the clomiphene. Oh, it's a peptide fest with the Mennonites. We're going to war. You can be with us. Call in. You can't. It's Helltown Radio. Fuck your feelings. I moonwalked in hell. We're back.
Yay.
Yes. The Mennonites. Shoe fly pie.
All right. So that's how we started the show, y'all. I forgot to tell the neighbors.
I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I didn't hear any activity going on over
the
there.
door naked again.
Come over here.
I know they better not. Man, we got a doorman today. Fortunately, man, Jimmy. What we didn't tell you was we're gonna be taking advantage of your intimidating size. We actually had like a couple weeks ago on the show, the next door neighbor like just came pounding out. George did that, and then the next door neighbor came pounding on the door. He's like, "We got a fucking kid over here." It was a very interesting, awkward moment here on Helltown Radio.
During that, I think that
I'd be like, "You'll open the door, see Jimmy." They'll go like, "You know what? You guys go ahead and scream. I'm gonna be over here milking this baby."
It's like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I know. That's what I told him. I said it's gonna be like 30 to 90 seconds a week that you will hear screaming. Well, maybe more. I don't know. I don't know how George performs. Sex joke. Sex joke. Oh, are we introducing ourselves?
Yeah.
We forgot.
Hello. I'm Lita. I'm here on the show, and I do art stuff, and I talk about horror movies. I actually have movies to talk about today, so be excited. God damn it, because I am.
I'm double excited now.
Yeah. You should be. One of them's actually fucking comedy horror, so you better be.
Yes, I love all comedy horror. I'm upset that I wore these gray sweatpants, man. So I'm just so excited. I'm gonna have to sit down the whole time. Hey, my name is Chris Kenworthy. I am kind of a funny guy sometimes. Come here on the Helltown Radio every week. We do a thing with our friends. We bring out crazy people like George. We let him do his thing.
Yep.
We talk to interesting folks. People ask me sometimes, like, what's Helltown Radio all about? And the best way I can describe it is we're sort of like the Wayne's World of Front Royal.
Yeah.
Like, we talk to local people who do interesting stuff and have a cool story. And tonight we're very fortunate. We have a local woman-owned business person, I guess. Yes, a business owner that has a woman as well.
Yeah.
Yes, we have my friend Rachel Melvin is here. She's here with her lovely husband, Jimmy. Yeah.
Hi.
Yes, he is here with us. But yes, Rachel owns the all right. It's Revive and Relax.
It is Relax and Revive.
Relax and Revive. I cannot dude, I'm not dyslexic. I swear to God.
Hey, it's fine.
I know. I'm dyslexic. I don't know how to handle a penis.
Yeah, you're not the first person.
Hey, but yeah, but that's a cool business, and you started pretty recently. Yeah.
Yes, actually, my mother and I started the business. She's been in the medical field for over 30 years. She holds a doctor of nursing practice, and I'm a master esthetician, so we decided to go into business together and change people's skin.
Cool. So you guys, what kind of services do you guys offer?
Oh my gosh. There's really not anything that we don't offer. We have a wide range of services from weight loss to tox, fillers, laser treatments, chemical peels, facials, microneedling, all the things. So
Cool. That's pretty
there's not anything aesthetic that you can't get done there.
All right. So you do waxing, you do stuff like that?
Actually, no.
No?
Waxing is just not my thing. I feel like I kind of gave it a shot, but it's not something that I'm like super interested in. So I'll leave that up to the people that love that side of this.
I'm laughing because Jimmy's face. He was like, "Yeah, it's just."
I did a full Brazilian on my husband several months ago to try to just before I was going to bring it to my treatment room, and he was in a lot of pain. Put it that way. So
I had an ex-girlfriend. Her and my daughter convinced me to put Nair on my back. It was the worst decision of my life. Yeah, it felt like the worst sunburn. It felt like God was personally punishing me.
Yeah, I got a little
Depilatory
similar.
creams, and it smelled like rotten eggs. It was the worst. It
You
was.
should have known that you were allergic to it. You're like, what is going
I
on?
thought it was the smell of burning hair.
Different kind of pain.
Yeah.
You can move that microphone wherever you need to. So
I'll
just
get it a little closer to you.
Bring it up right as close to your chin as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Without it being
Talking to
homoerotic.
Hello.
This
Yeah.
way.
I'm gonna boost his
There
signal.
we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, how was the Brazilian?
Yeah. So scale of 1 to
So,
10.
like,
Tell 'em the
ouch for
truth.
3 seconds, but then like
I
lingering.
don't know how many people watch this show, but I mean, it was bad. It was bad. I mean, your watch fell off.
Oh,
Jimmy, this is not going
Jump.
to take away from your tough
So,
points.
I
right
mean,
there.
gosh, dude, it was a 10. I mean, it hurt so bad. It made me.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry.
All right.
It hurt so bad that I got
a little
a
chub.
little chub. It hurt that bad. It was fucking horrible.
Well, goddamn.
Yeah.
And it was, how long did it take?
It took
Oh,
a long
God.
time because
Yeah.
that was like my first
yeah.
attempt. So like
Yeah.
I used hard wax. So
Oh.
the wax will just harden and then you flick up a little corner of it and then you rip it.
Yeah.
And instead of putting like a strip down to take the wax off. So it was like just breaking off in little chunks. So it took a
But
long time.
I'm a team player.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're a champion
Yeah.
for
Yes,
Yes,
allowing
he's the
us.
best.
I try to support her in every way I can.
Yeah,
Good
obviously.
on you, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
The pure idiot young adolescent male mind of mine was like, yo, instead of like waxing, you could use a flamethrower.
I
Maybe
mean,
that's a new thing.
Yeah.
But then I was like, dummy, they use lasers.
Scorching.
Yeah, we do. We do have laser hair removal. A couple different styles of laser hair removal.
Yeah.
One of them is not as painful. The other one is kind of like a hot rubber band snap, so it is.
Oh,
a little,
shit.
It is a little painful, yes, depending on the area.
The
Tattoo
things that
removal.
people do for
Tattoo
beauty.
removal.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Oh, shit. Is it the
Mhm.
same laser that does that? Is
Yeah,
it
so it's like a multi-functional laser that has like 30 different modalities within. So yes, tattoo removal. Is
laser
one of them.
tattoos?
Did you practice on Jimmy as well? Jimmy,
No.
are you Hey, Jimmy, come in the other room real quick. I got to try something.
No, he waited. He waited to get his tattoos, so his are pretty nice.
Yeah.
Mine, on the other hand, not so nice.
I waited till I was like 30 before I got heavily tattooed. I only had a couple of tattoos up until I was about 30. And then I was like, all right, well, fuck it. Now I can go.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I didn't, because the shit I would have gotten at 18.
No
like,
doubt.
Oh my God. Like, dude, what I want a tribal genie with a bong
And Jesus
Over
saying,
the
fuck yeah, on a motorcycle.
over the sublime symbol.
Yeah.
You know, with
And
the
it's hard to tell who has been doing it. That's the other thing.
Yeah, right. You get,
Yeah.
yep.
My
You get,
friend.
yeah, you can sit there and watch your friends develop, and then you're like, once they get to the point, you're like, all right.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I think I was like 19 and wanted a princess crown on my lower back, and in somebody's house, probably person wasn't licensed or anything like that, and it is not a princess crown. It looks like a hot dog bun, hot dog
with deer
in it.
antlers.
It is
Glizzy Queen.
with some deer antlers around it that was supposed to be vines
Yeah.
with flowers, and and that really hurt.
I had a
too.
Jesus on my back that looked like the Grim Reaper, though. It was
Like
it
the
was-
Undertaker,
yeah,
really.
it was-
Yeah.
I had it covered up, though.
Did you turn it into the Undertaker? That would have been awesome.
I
Like,
pretty much I did.
peace.
Like,
I did.
coming out to WrestleMania, like right before Hell in the Cell. It'd be fucking badass.
Yeah.
That'd be badass. Oh man, so you do laser removal, you do that's do you do the I think I've asked I put this in a post and I almost got beat up by one of your friends about it.
Bleaching.
Intimate lightning is what the technical term for butthole bleaching.
Yeah, maybe I might have some on the way. Jim will be the first model for that, so I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, if you do it well enough, you do it with enough bleach, you won't need a nightlight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, just don't go full Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
Nobody wants a translucent butthole.
No.
We got a long way to go.
Poor Jim, man.
It's going to take a lot for that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Truth be told, he's got great eyebrows. Everybody, it's a
Yeah.
fantastic look, man. Fantastic look. So you guys have been in business, you guys are located. I'm sorry, where'd you say you were located again?
On Virginia Avenue.
Virginia Avenue.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, right behind the Wells Fargo.
All right, cool. So you go get the cash out and then come over and
Yeah.
get cashed
Just
out.
hit the ATM up and come on over.
Yeah. So what? I guess has business been growing, or has it been good?
Yes. I've been really fortunate, or we have been really fortunate. But I mean, I've always been kind of an entrepreneur, so I kind of know how to get things up off the ground, and get people through the door, and that's what's important. So I did a lot of services for free, and very discounted for several months just to kind of grow a following. And I mean, we still do that, giveaways and do all kinds of free
That's
stuff,
really
for the
smart.
community and, the schools and fundraisers and just like all the things because, bottom line is I want people to come through the door and see how educated and, knowledgeable we are in this field. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what would you say your mission statement is?
I don't know. I'll have
Yeah.
to think about that. But yeah, we should have a mission statement for sure.
Cool. Keeping Front Royal beautiful and bootyful.
Yeah, it's not even just
Yeah.
really about that. I mean, like educating
No.
people on, different, skin issues and
Well, you do a lot for teens with
Yeah.
acne issues and
yeah.
stuff like
I
that.
see a lot of teenagers.
Okay.
I would say probably like 80% of my clientele is teenagers that are struggling with acne.
Okay. Do you do stuff for burn victims at all, or is that something
I
that
haven't came across a burn victim. I guess depending on like what type of scarring they had or something like that, then
Yeah, so customer service is an interesting, thing to be involved with. I do it. I sell
Yeah.
drinks. That's what I sell. You sell art. That's a pretty. She does oddities, which is really cool. So it's
Yeah.
like really, really interesting things. In fact, I think there's some stuff. Is there anything on the table right now?
It's fine.
Oh, it's right.
I put it behind it because Charlie kept knocking stuff over. He knocked the shell off.
Yeah, I gotta find some way to perform surgery and fix the snail.
So
Gotcha.
do you find yourself with like weird? Do you have a weird customer? Like any weird customers that come in? Like they're like, all right, I want Botox so that my nose is like the size of Bozo the Clowns. Or do you get anybody that does stuff that you don't want? Like you're like, hey, slow down.
Yeah, I mean, there are people that, of course, come in with like unrealistic expectations, and like our goal is always, to keep our clients safe. So we do have to ratchet it back a little bit sometimes, but for the most part, I mean, I'm a lover and a giver, so I give 200% to everybody that comes through the door. So even if I can't necessarily provide something that like they want right then and there, I'm gonna try to do something else, to make them happy.
That's cool. Zay, but what's the most awkward request anybody's asked you?
Let me think.
Has anybody asked you to do that Japanese thing where they put the saline in the forehead and they make a donut? Do you remember when that was a
Yeah.
thing?
Why
That-
would- I don't
That was a
even
thing.
understand.
Yeah, it was a
Oh,
thing.
really?
Yeah, there was a thing like I guess 15 years ago, 16 years ago, and in Japan they had this fashion statement. And what they do is they'd inject a big balloon of right underneath your skin of saline solution, and then they'd push an indent in the middle of it so it looked like you had a donut on your head. I don't know.
So maybe a dimple, like aesthetic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or
Wow.
something.
No,
I don't know.
I missed that one too.
Yeah, so this
There's
was
also a
Oh.
butt head.
Wow.
Interesting.
This one looks like one of those bad guys in an anime.
And it's just saline under the skin?
Yeah, so eventually just...
Yeah, it would just reabsorb.
I feel like I've
yeah.
seen a couple people look like that around here.
Yeah.
After a wild night at the Pine.
That's more like I would say that's more like body modification.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Sure.
you know, even if it's temporary.
They also are called bagel heads.
Okay.
Bagel heads.
Cool.
Oh man, that's like borderline like a freaking racial epithet, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that
oh
is-
man, those damn bagel heads moving in the neighborhood.
It's not even a cool name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should have chose something a little better.
Yeah. You know, what would it be like? I guess
I
like
wouldn't even get offended with.
Yeah, they said it is
bagel head.
temporary. Initially, it was associated with Japan, but it was actually pioneered in Canada.
Still,
Go figure.
it's Canada.
They originally did it with maple syrup.
Yeah. No, they just put in what was the name? What's the name of that donut place everybody loves in Canada?
Oh, Tim Hortons?
Yeah, it's a Tim Hortons donut. They just slide underneath there.
Tim Hortons is just, because people rave about that coffee, it's just Burger King coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
I never heard of it.
Lame.
Are you a coffee person?
Yes. I have to drink decaf now, but I am.
Like you a snobby? Are you snobby about it?
Fuck yeah, I am. Yes, I am. French press.
Are you?
Always.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I am a
no.
brown sugar oat milk shake and espresso with vanilla sweet cold foam
That's not
daily.
Jesus.
That's not
Yeah. It took me a long
That's
time
a-
to learn
that's an
Starbucks
experiment.
lingo, though. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually intimidated by Starbucks.
Me
yeah.
Yeah,
It is
hate it.
intimidating.
I only go there one time a year, and that's when they got the pistachio latte.
Ooh man,
Yeah.
that
They
sounds.
might have that right now.
It's straight hot fire,
It's
Yeah.
good.
and
I
I
like
get it with
pistachio.
heavy cream.
Heavy cream.
Yeah.
See, I just drink coffee for the effect of coffee. I can recognize good coffee, but I don't give a shit. I've got the instant joint. I just do like the jailhouse espresso in the morning. Just take a fucking shot glass and some lukewarm water and just like throw that shit back and go.
Yeah, you used to like eat the grounds, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
You can eat, like, have you ever had chocolate covered coffee? nuts?
Yes,
Those are
like an
so
espresso
good.
bean.
Oh, yeah, I've had
Oh my
those.
god,
Definitely.
they're delicious.
Dude, when I was the few times that I've stayed at the county hotels, as we like to call them, I remember these guys doing this shit, and they would take ground coffee, they take the coffee, the instant coffee, and then taffy, and crush up they'd crush up Jolly Ranchers, and then they put like drink mix, and they make this ball, and they'd eat that shit like it was fucking like poor man's meth. And it was like a thing. I forget what the fuck they called it, man. But it was like I would see people do that. I was like, that is fucking like wow.
Yeah.
I guess one of the things that you learn when you're incarcerated is like ingenuity is fantastic. If I ever got stuck on a desert island and you were like, all right, you want to take a Green Beret or a dude that has spent 10 years in the clink, I'm taking a dude 10 years in the clink all fucking day, because you're not only gonna survive, but he's gonna figure out how to make shit taste good, man.
Jailhouse taffy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jailhouse taffy and toilet wine.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Swole myself. So.
Yeah. Oh, a fellow alumni.
Yeah.
Shh, we don't talk about it. You know what? Every once in a while, when I'm on my way home, if I'm hungry and I can't figure out what I'm gonna eat, I'll get the shit to make it swole and just say fuck it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's great. My kids love it. We used to have it for dinner,
Yeah.
like here and there.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
all different kinds of.
I don't make it personally, but
I've
I'll leave
made
that up to Jim.
A lot. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I like, I feel sometimes when I go into 7-Eleven, I just fantasize I'm in commissary again. Just break me out my Scantron sheet. And
They use a Scantron sheet?
Yes, dude. Use a
Shit.
Scantron sheet to order your shit. Well, not anymore. Now you do it all on they do it on tablets and shit. But yeah, back in the day, my first couple go arounds, we had the old Scantron sheets. It was cool, man. I was like cheating off my fucking neighbor. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a goddamn Iowa test.
yeah, man. Except for overpriced noodles, you know.
How much were they? What would be the street value of a jail oodles and noodle?
One pack of soup is equivalent to a street dollar. Essentially.
Probably.
That's like a 40-cent
Now I'm
markup.
sure the I haven't.
Back then.
Fortunately, I have not had the. Actually, dude, I went to jail once, and then there was another, I think, a 10 or 12 year hiatus, and it was still $1. It was still that was like one of those inflation proof things, like eighths of weed and packs of soup.
They probably
Stay the
buy
same
like
price for
pallets
many
of
moons.
each flavor, and it's probably like a cent for each
Oh,
one.
yeah. I mean, dude, they don't call it the prison industrial complex for nothing, dude. Like, those guys, them motherfuckers are in. People are like, I can't believe all the cool stuff people get in prison. And I'm like, dog, that's just so motherfuckers can make money. Like, that has nothing to do with them giving a fuck about what's going on with the prisoners' well-being, man. They don't give a shit. They just want to see how much money they can squeeze out of you, man. They're like, here's a 12-inch tube TV from 1978. You'll pay $750 for it now, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people, like, whenever I hear that shit, people are like, oh, going to jail is like going to a resort. I'm like,
you gotta pay
yeah,
for
except
it.
for you can't open the door and you eat with a spork 3 meals a day. It's fucking horrible, man. You'll learn how to play Scrabble well, and if you're lucky enough, you'll, you become a sex object. But
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Good.
Pooping will become hard and then easier.
They used to have those little 5-inch TVs back in the 90s.
yep.
But you was a rich prisoner back then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now they give.
man.
I think they probably have credit. I would not
Yeah.
put it past the system of them like starting a credit ship because they
I don't
know
know.
who else.
I hear they charge.
It's like
you,
working in a mine.
just for being there now. Like if you get locked up,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, certain
$1.50
ones.
a day. I think.
Is that what it is?
I think
Yeah.
it's something like that. Yeah, it's something.
Jesus
Do you,
Christ.
so do you work it off like by ways of, like picking up trash on the side of the road, or
No,
is
I
that something
hear,
you pay
like,
at the
if you
end?
send them money, I know because I have some people, and I guess when you send them money, they take it out of your money you send whoever you're sending to pay them first or.
Oh,
So,
damn! I didn't know that.
Damn.
Dude, I always my dad always referred to Uncle Sam as Uncle Sugar and the Alphabet Gang, and I never understood it until like I was like, oh, these motherfuckers, it is gang shit. I mean, it is straight up. They're like, yeah, you can
Yeah.
pay up.
Yeah, I mean you're just
Fuck you,
getting
pay me.
babysitted.
It's
Yeah.
fuck you, pay me situation, man. That's wild. Yeah, I mean, but there are ways like if you're like indigent, then you can't pay, then they don't really like do shit for you. But they had like. One of the things, I was in Arlington County detention facility, 4-star Yelp review all day. It's a fucking fantastic. They have carpets, full cable, Aramark caters it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, full dental and
Pump 'em
medical.
up.
Yeah, great. The only thing I would complain about where they dropped a star was on the bedding. Wasn't a big fan. But no,
Itchy?
what's up?
Was it itchy?
Nah, man. They give you they put this it's got like vinyl on it, so like it's not itchy, but it's like it's a thing it's about maxi pad. It's like like super maxis. It's like a super maxi pad in a plastic bag is pretty much the best way I could describe it. And it'll fuck your back up.
Well,
But
if I ever get homeless, I'm going there.
that's so where I'm going with this is
Yeah.
I met this group of homeless dudes and it was led by a dude named Iceman. Iceman had a giant tattoo.
Homeless
on
people had a leader.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great. They were unionized. It was. So what they would do is these guys would all get together. I shit you not, and they did this every year for years because the deputies would tell me about it. They were like, "Oh yeah, Iceman and Jerry and those guys, like, yeah, they come in here in October. They go and they blatantly shoplift at like a CVS or some shit, and they're like, oh, well, look what I'm doing, and they get caught, and then it takes like 3 to 6 months for them to process and get sentenced and go through it all. So they go in October when it starts getting cold outside. They come and they have a nice, I guess you'd say it's a vacation, relative.
That's a great idea.
That's the state of affairs that we are in an economy where we're actually thinking about that as, it's like, honey, we haven't afforded a vacation in a long time. Let's just go steal some shit, and then you stay in a unit next to me, and we'll just fly kites to each other. Jailhouse romance, another funny thing in jail. It's always funny, like the people, like, oh man, they love it. People fall in love. It's so wild, dude.
Yeah.
I was actually listening to NPR the other day, and they were having stories of jailhouse love. And it was like it sounded like any other NPR piece, and they had the quiet person being like, "Yes, Julio and Edgar found love in jail," and it was just them talking.
Wasn't there like a documentary recently on Netflix
Probably.
where this chick was like she was a guard and she got like,
Oh yeah,
I
she
saw
got like
that.
it was like
Yeah,
two
wild.
dudes, and she got both of them out, and I think they ended up ditching her, and I think
No,
she
this-
might have shot herself in the when the cops found him.
Yeah,
I gotta look it up.
Yeah, I think it was just one dude.
But I think she did shoot herself. Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, she was just like, well,
Yeah,
which
well,
is dumb.
Well,
but,
even weirder than like that, and that stuff. That's a story that actually just recently happened at RSW. They had like 3 or 4 years ago. They had a woman who got caught doing things with people that were not supposed to be doing things with.
Oh, it's
And-
still going on.
Oh, I'm sure. But it's like wild. Like when it's between two people who have never seen each other. They're just throwing pieces of paper over a wall. And they're like, oh, I'm in love with this. this person on the other side is like, but the thing is just because as a game of numbers, there's a lot more dudes than women, so the women end up with like 4 or 5 boyfriends. And then, and that's always a thing. But, that's how they get their commissary, man. It's wild as shit. It's a fucking hustle and a half in there, man. It's great.
Polyamory situation in the jailhouse. That's wonderful.
The lady's name was Vicky White. She was. She died after shooting herself. She helped an Alabama inmate escape.
Crazy. That's wild. Yeah, I watched it the other day, and I was like, well, love finds a way. I
that
guess.
Motherfucker got game.
And then ends promptly.
No doubt.
All right, how many years, Lita? How many years would you be facing before you would try to escape?
I don't know, cause I'm already stir crazy, and I work from home, so I definitely try to get out of the house at least once, and if it's a winter storm, definitely I'm trying to leave the house. So I would say a year. I can't deal with it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck this,
I'm
out of here.
It's not that bad.
Well, the way you talk about it, I'm like,
It's
I don't know.
It's sort of like fucked up summer camp. There's you're doing a lot of arts and crafts. The food sucks. You have to hide to masturbate sometimes.
Look, I'm ADHD as fuck. I can't just sit in a cell. I'm gonna be at the bars and trying to
I
find
don't think they
ways
really
to...
have cells anymore. It's just like dorms.
Yeah.
And bunk beds.
That makes it better.
They have something at RSW.
Well, I guess that's when you.
They're not. It's
go
not
Yeah,
like
when you go in, when you get locked up in there.
holding cells.
Yeah, but they don't put you in it's not like what you see on the old movies where there's bars and a bunch of
No.
bubbas hanging out. They put you in an individual room with an air pop door and it's an airlock door and it's a little bit more, I guess, quote unquote civilized, if you will.
I'd
Yeah.
rather have the bars. I feel like I'm
No
too
way.
More
anxious.
protected, right?
The
See,
bars
I'm a
are the
lover, not a
worst.
fighter, but I'm sarcastic and my mouth gets me in trouble. So I feel people would try to beat me up all the time, and I don't like that. So
I don't
I
know,
would
man.
try to escape.
I don't know, man. I think you would probably do a lot better than you think, man. You'd walk in on a bunch of ladies and be like, yo.
Hey, have
Maybe.
you ever?
A bunch of ladies that look like me would roll up on you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm somebody's bitch.
I might entertain that.
Oh, man. Yeah, when you're stacking your commissary every week. Oh,
I got 50-11
Baby.
noodles. What you trying to do?
You gotta survive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's you could offer. I think maybe you could offer service at the jails. Be you get in on this prison industrial complex thing. Be like, hey man, the ladies got to look good too in there.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I
Nah.
don't
do
know.
it.
Sometimes
You
people
gotta-
go in there looking totally, clapped, and then they walk out all fit and trim and I look good. I stopped drugs because I'm here. Because where am I going to get them from?
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people do come out looking
Yeah.
much
And
better.
some of them,
for
they
sure.
come out and the mullet has deepened.
Well, yeah, that
Yeah.
that too.
Man, the last time that I had the pleasure was I went in the day before the world shut down in pandemic, and then I got
Yeah.
out 2 weeks later. Yeah, and so I remember leaving, and the lady that was letting me out, I'm like, so what's it like out there? She's like, it's fucked up, and slammed the door. And, that was it.
Good luck.
Yeah, so Kelly picks.
Ain't no toilet paper.
Right. No. So this is a funny shit. In the jail, they already have their toilet paper stock. They already have their toilet paper stock. So when everybody in the world was losing their mind over not having toilet paper, people were having fucking toilet paper fights in there and shit, dude. It was wild. I remember looking over and they were turning a dude into a mummy on a fucking toilet, not a toilet, on a chair, and I was like. Man, I was like, this essentially is the equivalent of being a millionaire in a strip club right now. Just fucking just thrown. I was like,
I got them sheets.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. We would I'd be like, yo, I need 2 rolls of toilet paper. They're like, what for? I was like, cause I can, bitch. What's up? I'll make it rain on these hoes.
Yeah. Sheets.
I'm surprised they wasn't tighter with that toilet paper.
It was wild. I was actually holy shit, because usually, man, in my prior experiences at other of the finer facilities in the Commonwealth, it's always been, it's when you ask, they're like, yeah, we'll get to you in a minute.
Yeah.
You'll be like, yo, you said that 3 weeks ago. What the fuck, man?
Yes,
I've been
that's
wiping
a
with my
fact.
toothbrush. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I did that recreationally.
Gotta stay clean.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
You know, if you think somebody's gonna visit, best to clean.
Yeah. Hey, visits are important.
You're not wrong,
Visits
man.
are important. Letters are important. I mean, you only have so much to look forward to.
Hmm? Yeah, I mean that Scrabble also that was my shit. I learned how to play a mean ass game of Scrabble in that motherfucker.
Whereas you don't know how to play spades.
I know how to play spades, bro.
He looked at you.
Yeah, he's like, don't you judge me.
A long time ago, back in the 90s, when I had a run, they used to play this game when I was in Nottoway at one time, and it was like what Dungeons and Dragons or something like.
Oh,
that.
D&D.
Something like that was really fucking popular. These motherfuckers
Did like they had a die, like a 6-sided die?
Dude, they would sit at the table all night. Like, this was before you had to be in bed by 9 o'clock and shit like that.
Yeah,
and they would play all night long.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, yeah. If you're the dungeon master,
that's when
That's
everybody's fingers were yellow and their beards were yellow because they
You
rolled
smoke.
cigarettes and shit.
Oh,
back then.
dude. When did smoking stop in jail? Did somebody like a bunch of people get cancer or something, or was it just one of those things they could control?
I think it was it's a control issue thing. I think it was like 2005 or 2007, something like that.
Damn.
It was right before my first experience at the lovely Arlington County Detention Facility. But yeah, they were like, 'cause there's people that were coming and going from some of the prisons that still had their stockpiles from when they were in, and they get that shit taken away.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's like, so noodles replaced that.
Yeah, well, sugar. I mean, sugar in general. I mean, it's a fucking like that's a drug. I mean, that's the biggest drug, dude. That's
Really like candy?
Yeah, people like you're.
Every commissary was different wherever you went. The
Yeah.
commissaries were always different.
Yep. But there was I think it was 2006, between 2005 and 2007 they stopped cigarettes in the Commonwealth of Virginia, which is highly ironic given that the great Commonwealth was built on tobacco.
When did they stop in restaurants? Was it around the same time?
No, that was back in like the late 90s.
No, I disagree. You used to be able to smoke in KFC when I was probably like 14. So that was.
How many years
was
ago
that?
was that?
2004.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're that
I
young?
remember.
Yeah, I'm 34.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't know. You look like you're 25, but I know you're older than 25.
Yeah.
So I just like, all right, well, I don't know. You could be like, I mean, y'all ladies these days look great. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't, it's hard to tell. Sometimes you see like a 90-year-old woman, you're like, oh my God, she's hot as shit. And then,
She's had some lasers.
I also, I was kidding.
That's probably the weakness.
Dude, so I saw some crazy conspiracies lately, and we've spoke about a little bit about it on the show, and there seems to be a rash of people that also believe in flat Earth, really thinking that a lot of female celebrities were born men. And the newest one I saw today was Sandra Bullock.
Jesus Christ, is nothing sacred?
So
yeah, right.
And they were pointing out the fact that they say that she looks like she has the Adam's apple.
Who cares if she does?
So, like, I know biology, and you know biology, and when you start to get older, your neck becomes less fatty, and you can see the structure underneath. Mm-hmm. So, because of that, they're saying that she has an Adam's apple. And I was sitting there, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure she's had children. And I've noticed a theme. Every single celebrity that this person has said is a trans person has biological children.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
I bet you next week he's going to be like, they've invented a uterus.
Well, there's a lot more weird stuff. There's no dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
The no dinosaurs thing got me.
But believes in dragons.
He got called out, but we're gonna leave names out for the protection.
I know
I
who
do
you're
not
talking
believe
about, but
in
I'm not.
dinosaurs.
You don't
not.
believe in
And
dinosaurs?
he's
I
a
do
flat
not.
earther. Don't
Yeah.
even get us started
I do
because
not.
I will crash out right here with that because we have
wow.
very much different opinions on.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I mean,
We have different perspective here. That's good. Let's have a friendly debate.
but you know what? I think you better that you could probably be. Do you feel because of your position in the esthetician world that you can identify like really good transgender folks out better than like the normal naked eye?
Not necessarily. I feel like a lot of women these days, including myself, have a lot more testosterone than normal or than before. So like for instance, I like had some terminal hair underneath of my neck since I was like 15 years old. And I used to tell my mom, like I should have been born like a dude, I think, because Like I got kind of like a deep voice and, I'm growing weird hair, whatever. But I mean, a lot of natural women these days are growing beards and all of that. So
I thought that was normal.
I couldn't speculate.
I have PCOS, so I grow hair. You don't know that because I pluck like a crazy person. And I mean, it's one of the reasons why we couldn't have kids and we had to resort to IVF because my testosterone levels were so high and it was so like all over the place that I wasn't ovulating like I should, like a normal woman should. So that
you have an IVF baby?
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Yeah. Twinsies.
Yes.
How long did it take? I had to do it I did it twice. The first one failed and then COVID happened and they shut everything down. And we waited and waited. Finally, they opened everything up and I did everything the way I was supposed to. I even timed the medication.
Wow.
So it worked. I didn't think it was going to work, but it did. And we have our son.
So I became a mom really young at 16 and 18. I had my first 2 kids, obviously with somebody that I was with, at that point. And of course, it didn't work out. When I met my husband now, we had tried to, my husband's a little bit older than me. We had tried to have a baby for several years. Obviously, that had been a very long time since I had had any children. Plus, I was so young having them. And it wasn't, happening. And we decided to go to a fertility clinic. We went to Shady Grove in Fairfax. And thankfully, it worked on the first try. I had a fresh transfer. I still had I did all of the pre, testing and everything. And they couldn't determine that anything was wrong with me. It was just kind of like, couldn't explain why I wasn't getting pregnant. So, I did all the things and had a retrieval and had a transfer. And thankfully it was successful on the first time. But I had a terrible pregnancy. I had a subchorionic hematoma. So I bled until I was probably like 20 weeks along. I was on bed rest and all the things. And then I had an emergency C-section at 35 weeks. So it was kind of a stressful.
Yeah.
And
I feel that.
Our baby had some weird things. Like he had an airway defect and like a weird kind of like sternocleidomastoid tumor on the side of his neck that was benign, but really bizarre things that I hadn't seen with my other 2 kids. And I'm like, it's probably because he was like a little lab baby.
I had children young too. I had one at 16 and then one at 16, one at 19, and then twins at 26. And then I got a divorce, married my husband, and he didn't have children either. So we were trying, and the first one, it just didn't work. I don't think I was we were so naive and going into it, and I was just all over the place taking medication. He was in between jobs. I was working, and it was just really stressful. And then COVID happened, so I didn't think it was going to work because of all that stress. And then when David worked, it was fine. My pregnancy was fine up until the last month, and then I developed hypertension.
Yeah.
So preeclampsia. So we had him, and he's 4 years old now. He's nonverbal. See, the tests don't test for autism or anything like that. So he is on the spectrum, but we still have one embryo left, and I often think about maybe, just maybe, but
same. So we have 4 embryos that are frozen that we still pay for every month. We had talked about having one more baby after. Don't let him fool you, okay? He was down. He'd probably be down right now if I'd be back at home and not be a businesswoman. But
mine definitely does the same thing, and especially since we know it's a girl.
So you had your eggs tested.
Yeah.
I opted out of it. Just number one, it was very expensive to add that on, and we were paying in cash for it, and
that's like $20,000 to get those things.
Damn.
That's what. Raised it up a little bit.
Yeah, but mine are just sitting.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to use them at this point, but they gave me the option, and probably you as well.
Yeah.
You could donate them or discard them, and I'm like, there's no way they would discard those embryos.
No.
They would sell them 100%.
Yeah.
They would never be discarded. Yeah. So I'm like, I'll just hang on to them, I guess.
I'm okay with just giving them away, really, to someone.
Well, next week we'll be having a giveaway here on Helltown Radio. Jimmy's. Well, I mean, hey,
Show
man.
up with $20K in cash, please. Thanks.
Yeah.
Y'all are a good-looking couple. You guys got great, like, I hate to sound like, a certain somebody from the 40s, but you guys got great genetic structure. I think that, dude, this motherfucker.
There's 4.
There are 4 of them. You guys got you got an offensive line.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Put them on eBay.
Dude, wasn't that a thing at one point in time before it got regulated that some people did shit like that?
You could sell anything.
You were like, at that point in time, people were like, yo.
I mean, when Tor browsers first came out in the dark web, people were selling body parts on that shit.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could buy anything on that bitch.
For the longest time, people were selling their their IVF meds. When I was just looking up IVF, trying to figure out what it was about, I've somehow got into some rabbit hole. Maybe we could do this ourselves, because we were looking at the cost.
DIY.
It cost about $100,000 to
Our doctor actually died in
What?
the midst of us.
Yeah, right after my transfer, we had a really good doctor. He was great. And right after my transfer, he took his son to Ocean City, and they were riding jet skis, and his son T-boned him and completely severed one of his legs, and he bled out right there. It was freaking crazy. And I was calling and sending emails I'm pregnant, and then they called me and they were like, yeah, sorry, he died.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, dang.
Yeah.
You were probably the last transferred baby.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be wild?
Yeah. For real. I mean,
So they're worth more now.
yeah.
All right, Jimmy.
He removed those embryos. Yeah.
Prices went up.
Yeah.
Yo, it's like a Van Gogh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been over 7 years ago, and that was 20,000, so it's got to be at least.
It was a good vintage.
Yeah.
It was a good vintage of embryos that year. They had a bouquet.
Have you heard anything though about them sitting frozen and potentially, if they do thaw and you have a successful transfer and a pregnancy, I read all kinds of stuff after a certain amount of years, there's a risk of cancers.
Yeah, I did read about that. I actually also read where the oldest embryo was transferred, I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago. The embryo was sitting for 25 years.
Wow.
Jeez.
And it was successful.
Wow.
So I'm not sure where that child is now or how old he or she is.
Having knee pain.
But I know that science is incredible, and I think that with technology ever growing, hopefully things will be cheaper, because I know I did CCRM, and they did everything in house, including the storage, and I was paying $400 a year to store it. Well, this year we got our bill and it was $1,500 because they outsourced it to another group. So yeah. I'm hoping that it doesn't get any more expensive, because otherwise we do have to make that decision. Well,
let me tell you though, because I don't know, we had ours on a card that something happened with it, whatever, had to cancel the card, and I don't know, we were probably $1,000 behind. I just forgot about it, whatever. And then I got this email that was telling us you need to make a payment, blah, blah, blah. And I called and I was like, are my embryos still safe? Can I make this payment? And they were like, yeah, we legally.
I've never laid eyes on them though, so I don't even.
We
know
legally
what I'm
can
paying
never
for.
discard the embryos.
Yeah. Man.
But if you wanted to use them, you would have to pay back that balance.
So it's a lien on them.
It's a lien on them, but they would, at least our place was we would never ever discard them, for any reason.
Well,
but if you want to utilize
comforting.
one, you have to pay what you owe.
It's quite expensive. Mine was astronomical, and we're still paying on that now. But I think that there's gonna be things along the way, with our son. We didn't account for autism. We didn't even think about that when they were doing the testing. I'm an older woman at 45. I just didn't want to bring a child into the world and not be there for his entire life. Being as old as I am, I run into the risk of having a child with Down syndrome, and I didn't want to do that. So that's what we were thinking. This is the only thing we have to worry about. So, and the way the the gods have blessed me. I love my son very much, but I wish that technology was just a little bit better so that we can kind of fine tune it, so that we can find things like cancer or something else, because people spend a lot of money to have a kid, when they can't, and it's kind of heartbreaking when you find out something's wrong,
Right.
years and years down the road.
Yeah, that's tough for sure.
I know with like shit like CRISPR, they'll be able to go in and edit like the actual DNA code. So, because I know, like, wasn't it like maybe like even 10 years ago at this point, they had kids that couldn't catch AIDS or whatever, they've been vaccinated against AIDS, but they don't know what that, if you're turning on one thing, if it turns on something or turns off something else. But they were saying like they were also doing stuff with like I guess looking for a gene that made people bulletproof. I guess this was like a military thing where like something that silks, like spider silk or some wild shit. But
none of those dudes could be circumcised. They go there like tink tink. Like,
the
fuck,
uncut,
man.
they'll be in the military as the uncut berets.
Yeah, they use it as a parachute.
I tried to opt out of circumcision for my youngest, my little IVF baby, and the doctor was like on board, like she was on my side. I don't know. I just loved him so much that
Anteaters.
things were different. Like, back then when I had my kids so young, I was just like, they took them and did whatever they wanted. And then I like feel like I worked so hard to carry this baby, and it was traumatic anyway. And like just to have him, I was like, I don't want anybody slicing anything off of him. So
What's
my
your son's
husband,
name?
of course, was like, huh?
What's your son's name?
Weston.
Weston. How old's Weston?
He just turned 6 in
He just
February.
turned 6? All right.
Yeah.
So in 10 years when he finds this online, Weston, we know about your foreskin, son.
Hey, I kind of look at it like
cut it.
he's
We-
old.
Oh,
Cut it.
you did?
I did.
No,
Yourselves?
okay. No. So I was trying to, respect my husband. He's a man,
kidding.
whatever. He wanted this for his son, and I was like, but I kind of made a big deal about it to the doctor. Like I was like, I really don't want to do it. So I think maybe she just nipped a tiny bit.
Yeah, she was like making me feel bad that I wanted to do
Snip the
it.
dip.
Yeah, she was like, "What? Like, what's your problem?" I was like, "Cause mine's that way, so I want his that way. I don't just. It seems normal."
Solidarity, man.
And she was like,
It is.
"No." So I really think she kind of. Sorry, Weston. She little botched it a little bit. She just did a little bit, so he's kind of like he's a habit.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Dude,
I think that's called
Still
the
got a
French
little-
circumcision.
Yeah.
there's
maybe.
Yeah.
He's got a little hat.
Yeah.
Dude, my-
The whole
Yeah.
hat.
Dude, my older brother's my half brother, and he's 13 years older than me. And he came over here from Europe, and he came over here uncircumcised, and somehow the doctor talked my parents into getting him circumcised.
Yo, fuck that doctor. Fuck
Yeah.
that doctor for life.
Yeah, right. So, anyways, so he gets better. Sorry, Emmanuel, if you're watching this, I just put this in the family chat.
He's like, Sacre Blue, bruh.
Anyways, he had to get a secondary circumcision later on in life, man, because it ended up looking like a rooster's like neck.
he got
Oh, what is that little piece
he
called?
got a Google.
I forget what the cock something.
Google that over
Oh,
there on
it's
your
like the
laptop.
foreskin, right?
What am I looking up?
Yeah, it was like
Like
a
what a
yeah,
rooster-
so-
I'm not looking up
It's
botch.
called a comb.
Yeah, the
Rooster.
comb. The
comb,
comb.
yeah.
Okay, the comb. Yeah, I thought it was something that cock something, but anyways. Yeah. So anyway, sorry, Emmanuel, to bring that up, but we just call him Rooster D. Yeah, that was a nickname. But yeah, dude, that's. I mean, I'm just saying, but look, man, like, I'm circumcised. It was a fashion statement back then. My mom was, my name's Chris. Like, that's the most popular name of 1980. She was going along with the fashion trends of everything.
Yeah.
We had shag carpet,
Pleated slacks.
pleated slacks.
What's the middle name though?
Alan.
Even better.
Jeez.
Yeah, Christopher Allen Kenworthy.
White.
Yeah, as fuck. As fuck. I think it's this is pretty self-prevalent. There's not, but yeah. So that's I think that like nowadays there's people that are pushing to like protect children from getting getting unnecessary circumcisions, which is intense. I forget the name. There's a group of people. There's a national group of people, and they have created a foreskin regenerator.
Jesus.
So you can think about this as one of your services. It's a foreskin regeneration service as well. and it looks like one of those cones of shame they put on dogs. And then like
What?
you clip it onto the skin behind the head of the penis, and then it like eventually over time stretches that skin back
Wow.
over the head of the penis and creates a regenerated foreskin.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Foreskin regeneration.
Are
And,
you a reverse Moyle?
and you know what? I do want to be Jewish. I made I would love to be a Jew. That's why I started doing stand-up comedy. I want to be like Jerry Seinfeld. I live a rural Seinfeld life. I have a neighbor named Kramer that does an unannounced pop-ins. Except for when he pops in with like a gallon of moonshine. You've met him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, man. He's like, oof.
Is that the same dude that just drives through the river in his Tacoma?
No, that's another one. That's my man Jay Breeden, man. That's Superman. That's the country Superman. Right there. Seen him pick up an 800-pound boulder with one arm. It was crazy.
You like Paul Bunyan?
Yeah, a little bit, man. He's a very interesting gentleman, man. Very interesting gentleman. He definitely I've seen him drive his like one time I was fishing and all of a sudden I heard a splashing sound coming up next to me and it was a truck driving through the river and I was like, "Hey, how's it going, man?" He was like, "Sorry, dude."
Didn't see you there.
Yeah. That's the story that you can tell living in Front Royal, and you guys didn't even blink, man. Like my little nephew's like, "Dude, that's so awesome, man." They live in the city, so
Yeah.
you know they don't get to see that much cool shit like that. Well, I guess they see a lot of other cool shit, but not like that cool shit. I think that would be
like
fun.
gunplay.
Did you guys both grow up here in Front Royal?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys like this is like I mean this is super cool. I wish I don't regret growing up with skateboarding and hanging out, but like. This should be tight growing up here as a kid, man. You guys got to do all sorts of cool stuff, like party in the woods.
It was
Yeah.
the best. I mean, honestly, like I people may have their opinion on this town or whatever, but and maybe things have kind of, changed and better and for worse, but I had a fantastic childhood. I lived in that big neighborhood right across from Mary Shady, Vaught Estates off of Happy Creek. That's where I grew up, and it was safe and everybody was always outside and we were just always doing things and loved it.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I grew up in Manassas. Manassas is like the New Jersey of Northern Virginia. Like it's definitely like looked down upon. So when I heard like Front Royal is not bad at all. Like I've never been here and been like, yo, it's unsafe. I'm in danger. I've had guns pointed against my chest in 7-Elevens in Manassas. Like,
Yeah, no, it is. I feel like it is generally safe.
I think there's like because of the familiarity people have, you're like everybody is like, you guys people went to high school together, you grew up together, or whatever it is. Your common thread is there's a lot more of that than there is in kind of like in Northern Virginia and DC and I guess city centers in general. You have that familiarity which leads to I guess being polite and having manners,
Yeah.
I definitely got pulled over for the first time from Front Royal City Police, and it was like probably like 1 a.m. I was driving, and I didn't have my. I just got a new license plate, and didn't have it mounted on the front. Dude pulled me over, and then another cop pulled over, and then I was like, "Oh shit!" Because I'm used to like Prince William County. 2 cops pull up, you're definitely coming out that car. And like he started talking to me about the car. He's like, "When'd you get?" I was like, "What the fuck is happening right now?" Like. So I don't know. I haven't had experiences like that. Maybe it's like small town, like Mayberry type shit. But
listen, I will say this: any person that complains about a Warren County anything, go to Fairfax County.
oh yeah, Fairfax County.
Just go to Fairfax County. You don't even have to do shit. Just go to Fairfax County. Just go, and you'll see them everywhere. They look like it reminds me of the stormtroopers from the fucking Star Wars movies. Them boys are rough, man. I moved. I moved out of Fairfax County because of like. Highly violent and vulgar and illegal search and seizure that happened to me and my buddy we just fucking went to the bar and went home and then we had a little weed on us and they thought we were fucking coke dealers.
Oh yeah.
And it was some crazy ass shit. So I told Kelly the next day, was like, yo, pack up the house. We are getting the fuck out of Fairfax County.
Yeah, my only weed charge came from fucking Fairfax County. It was like a corner of a bag, and I think I had like a pen that I like was done, but it was in the trunk. And the dude was asking like, "Who's your distributor?" and shit like that. I'm like, "Yo, bro, like you found it in a jacket in the trunk. Calm the fuck down."
Yeah, the cops here are nice, man. As long as like Yeah, you know, I've never really had any. I can't think of any time where I've run into a police officer here and I've been like, God damn, this dude's a dickhead.
Well, I know the women in town, like the one guy, I don't know what his name is, but they call him the hot cop. I've heard this from like probably
Who's
like
the hot
12 fucking women.
Do you know who the hot cop is?
Does he? It's the one with
I'm looking at
tattoos,
Jimmy.
right?
No,
Yeah.
It's the one with tattooed arms.
Here?
He's
Anywhere.
I'm not like, I mean, in general, across the board, I'm not really, but I just can't. I've never had like, and I've never really seen anything crazy happen out here personally. I did see the one time when the guy did the free cocaine giveaway at
what?
Yeah, you don't remember did I ever tell you about the free cocaine giveaway?
No, because I wasn't there.
Oh man, it was
because
like,
my heart is still intact.
it was when vigilantism goes wrong, and it was at Vibrissa, and so I came outside to smoke a cigarette at the Catamount Lounge.
This was recently?
This was like 6 months ago. And this dude was sitting outside on the phone, and he's FaceTiming his mom, and he's like grown man. He's like 30, 35 years old. And he's like, Mom, I'm going to jail tonight. I'm just going to let you know right now. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's something to walk out to. So I'm like, yeah, I light my cigarette, I'm sitting there watching this dude. And he's like, he looks at me, he's like, hey, man, do you ever go in this restaurant? And I'm like, yeah, well, you know, I go in there from time to time. Why? What's wrong? He's like, be careful. They're putting cocaine in the food. And I was like, what? I was like, they're giving away free cocaine? I was like, that is a brilliant marketing gimmick. Like, you know,
this hamburger's the best hamburger I've ever had.
People were going to be like, yo, let's go to this, you know. But it's not what was happening. What happened was they put powdered sugar on their funnel cake fries, and somebody just happened to be a messy eater at the bar and left some, like, you know, powdered sugar on the bar, and this dude was convinced it was cocaine. So he called the cops on himself. Because he called the cops being like, yo, they're giving away cocaine at the bar at Vibrissa. And so he's outside and he decides to mush one of the cooks that comes out like to try to get him out. And then the cop sees it, and it was a woman. It was actually a woman cop, not much bigger than me, like height wise. Man, dude, she WWF just fucking rock bottomed him onto me, like right on the sidewalk, and it took, man, it was
Uchigari'd his ass.
It was, man, it was impressive. It was very fast, and I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, I can't believe you called the cops on yourself, man. That is crazy. He called the cops on.
He must have been on something.
He
Or
was
super drunk.
He was
Yeah.
super
Low
drunk.
brain cells.
At least he
And
called his
fucking got
mom.
hip tossed.
Yeah, he did let his mom know. I mean, it was a lot of
Mom, I'm getting hip tossed.
But still had respect for his mom.
Yeah.
I mean, so she wouldn't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, or be like, God damn it again. This can't be this.
Yeah.
It could not have been the.
She might have been thinking, like, thank God.
Yeah, no, I'm like, oh, he's not gonna come home tonight. Call her, get on Tinder.
Meemaw's on Tinder now. Stay your ass in jail.
I think the wildest thing I've seen though on Main Street was we were out one night. We just closed the restaurant. And it was like 2:00 in the morning. This was maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. And man, the SWAT team came in tanks. They had the fucking tanks, and they ran down Main Street. And then the next thing you know, you heard boom, boom, boom coming from like
Trap house.
a mile away. Yeah, dude. That was pretty wild, and I didn't read anything about it. It was, yeah.
Yeah, that was a covert trap house fucking expungement. I saw, I think I read about it. It was like somebody that was like, I guess they were running up 81 selling meth and like different shit, and they caught him in the Walmart parking lot, and they dipped out. And they came down the road that's by where Tried and True is, and like the gym. Yeah, and right behind where Brian used to live, they stopped his car, and a fucking F-150 with lights on it pulls in front of the car, and then a bunch of cops are behind it, and they yanked this dude out of the car. And I did what you're supposed to do now. I just whipped out my phone just in case. Just in case there was some brutality. I just held it there and looked.
Nope.
Like,
I'm not, no, man. I would not. See, I don't do that because then I can, like, I look at the cops. I'm like, yo, look, man, I didn't see nothing. It was cool, but keep me in mind next time, you know?
Yeah. Do you
Please.
see these markings? Like,
nah,
memorize
I
the
film it
patches
because you
and
can
It'd
sell
be
that
nice
to
to
hard
me.
copy. You can sell it to hard copy right quick. Nah, like I didn't know what was going on. I don't have a police scanner. I'm not one of those people. But all I saw was...
You don't need one, dude. Just go on. Go on Facebook. There's that
P.I.
one.
Fox.
Is that P.I. Fox? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
P.I.
I'm
Fox?
subscribed to it.
What is that?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
all
like,
are.
Yeah, you
I
can't
think she
not be.
deleted you, right?
I did. I used a cuss word or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
you bastard!
When I
Asked
used
her why she typed everything in caps. Blocked.
I definitely, when I was
Don't question the process, Jimmy.
Damn it.
When I was selling weed, I definitely, I think I went online for online police scanner one night when I was hyper paranoid. I smoked too many dabs. I was definitely like, yo, let me see if they come into my house.
Dude,
They were not.
Lena was telling me about how her mom bought a scanner so that she could like track her son. Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, that's wild as hell, man.
My dad's.
My parents just got me a beeper.
Dude.
Shit, I don't know, fucking.
There's Life 360 now, so
That
What
shit
is Life 360?
Life 360 is fucking that shit Genesis from Terminator Salvation, all right? Like
Don't.
it will fucking
Yep.
my friend got it, right? And I'm sorry to cut you off, but I was a little high. But it was my friend got it and she got it and I was like, yo, you're tracking your kids? And she's like, yeah, it tells you how fast they go, it tells you blah blah blah, this, that, and the third. And I was like, that's fucking crazy, man. If my parents had that, I would have been toast, dude. Like, it would have been fucking a wrap. But then, so she's telling me about it. I was like, yo, but that thing could blow up in your face. Like, you could do some shit, and then your family sees that, right? Well, lo and behold, she ends up making some indiscretions at the bar one night and ends up in the car with the gentleman she probably shouldn't be with. Ends up, he's driving extremely fast. And it alerts the whole family at 3 o'clock in the morning
Holy
that Mama Bear's out having a good time. And yo, I was like, I told you so. I mean, do you guys have it?
So I have it on my kids,
Oh,
of course. Just because, and I'm a cool mom. You know, I've been a mom for a long time. Whatever. I just, I want my kids to be safe, and God forbid if something happens, at least I know where they are.
I guess we all have a version
whatever,
of it.
but-
Like,
Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to bash your opinion on it. I would like to hear it actually because, yeah, it's just like my scary point though is like it's the same thing why I have a hard time with like wearing a smartwatch is because man they can hack. What if it gets hacked? Man, you get your biometrics hacked, you get your family's location on hacked. Like that's just weird, man.
well, I mean, if you have an iPhone, they already have Find My iPhone.
Yeah.
And that's like
That's what I use.
that.
with
Yeah,
my
that
kids.
I've definitely used that. Like my kid knows my location because that's the only person that I like. Like
I live in
that-
denial, so I don't want to know my kid's location. She's 22.
Oh.
She's 22, and
I'm pretty sure my kid has hers turned off. This is fucked up. I just thought
I
about
don't
this.
No, my daughter actually tried to get. I have a story about this. She tried to get one over on me the other. She's 18. She's gonna do, what 18-year-olds do. She's like, Mom, I'm gonna stay at Dad's house. Her dad just moved into town, like near where Target is. I'm like, okay. So like me being kind of like, my spidey senses, just like that's weird. Why would she just randomly want to go spend the night at her dad's house? So I look and her locations is off. And of course my husband's like, you should message her now because he's going to overbearingly worry about her the entire night. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm going to let her have her good time. And then I'll approach her in the morning. So she comes in and I'm like, hey, just out of, courtesy and safety, I don't care if you are hanging out with Satan himself, but I need to know where you're at. Your locations need to be on just in case something happens. If something happened and I'm calling your dad and he doesn't know where you are, that's a problem. All right. And she's like, well, I was like, you don't have to explain yourself. I'm not even going to ground you, but it better be on next time. And that's on. She immediately turned it on and she knows not to lie to me. Like,
and if you are partying with Satan, I heard that guy really knows how to get down, man. Like, let me know where the haps is at, dude. Or at least me, not you.
Yeah. That's the only time she's ever turned it off. And it's the only time that I knew she was lying to me. So, yeah. Kids.
I have never had the luxury of my daughter lying to me that I will acknowledge. I don't know. Like, I don't know if she's ever lied to me. My kid, I don't know if she's ever had a reason to lie to me because I was a non-custodial parent for the most part. So, I was vacation dad. So, I mean, you just come out and hang out and do your thing. And, like, my whole thing with her was, like, hey, if you're going to do shit, be careful. And all those things you say as a cool parent. But, like, not the overly cool parent where you're like, here, take this. If you're going to get it from somebody, I want you to get it from me. Shit. I'm like, no, not for me. But, so I never had the pleasure. Do your kids lie to you?
My oldest definitely lies when he feels like he needs to. My daughter, I don't know, she
Always tell her, like, look, it didn't happen unless you get caught. Okay.
My daughter knows that, she can tell me the truth about things. And has she tried to lie several times? Yeah, but I always know. And I just call her out on it immediately. And
So
she's like, yeah, whatever.
Are boys or girls easier to figure out if they're lying?
My son cannot lie to me.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now.
Probably
My twin son cannot lie to me. That child says I love you about 1,000 times. I love you, ma. I love you, ma. Like 1,000 times. He will never lie. But Ava will try to. His twin sister will definitely try to get one over on me because I don't know. I guess she thinks she's smarter than me right now. So.
But I forget who made the joke. They're like, it's like you should be flattered when you get lied to. It's like the ultimate form of intimacy. You're like, yeah, man. I guess.
Yeah, like my kid. I don't know. It's pretty open, so I don't think she would lie to me that much. And she can't do drugs because I lied to her and told her they piss test you if you do sports randomly. So.
If you live, they will give you a urine screen.
Well, if you think about it, when they do lie to you, it's kind of a form of respect because they're scared to tell you the truth because they don't want you to get mad or upset.
Yep.
But in the same sense, I feel like I'm a cooler dad now to my younger than I was to my older.
I think it's easier when you get older because you lose a lot of no matter what, especially I only have one kid, but I know it's and I teach kids jiu-jitsu, and it's become easier as I got older to be the detachment of they're just becoming a person and their mistakes aren't really a big deal. They're especially the younger they are, it's just you make mistakes, kid, calm down. And then it starts to be you console them because you'll see kids that especially type A kids when they're fucking 5 and they make a mistake. Them motherfuckers are balling in a corner I can't believe I didn't do this perfect the first time. So it becomes easier and easier because you just start to see oh, you got time, motherfucker. It's all good.
Wow, we have a type A kid.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to
but,
know.
Seriously, thinking about it, Weston is definitely type A. Cry is if he doesn't get doesn't do something right, if he's playing a game or shooting a basketball or something like that. I mean, it's straight meltdown, and I'm what the hell?
There's kids that are really, really talented. They're gonna be good at something, and those are the kids that are fucking crybabies at 5. At 5, especially if it's something new, they're fucking so goddamn frustrated. It's amazing to watch the variance of human beings. Some kids will fuck up and just get up and laugh, don't even give a shit, and the other kid is sitting in the corner with his arms crossed, fucking furious. And you got to go talk him off the ledge. And but those kids, when they hit 15, they're the ones that will come into the gym and not talk to anybody and just drill. Just they have this goal, the standard that they have for themselves. And it's you can see it happen. You're that motherfucker is going to be good because that they're going to be so I mean, it's a double-edged sword. They're going to be hard on themselves, but they also are going to excel because they won't settle for fucking up.
Yeah.
So.
That's not where I was at 15. 15, I was so guys.
No, those kids are
where are we getting a dub sack and who are we finger banging tonight? Let's go. The kids.
Back in the day, there was a strip that everyone used to ride around. So they would ride from Burger King up to the 7-Eleven by Milton Pot.
Okay.
And that was just
the loop.
That was the loop.
Yeah, Manassas had what was it, Mathis and something else. They would just ride around a big triangle.
Yeah.
Well, now kids can't because their parents are watching them on
Life
360.
Yeah, but those kids also aren't I noticed there's two things that they said the statistics are weird.
They don't want to.
High school kids aren't buying condoms because they're not having sex and they're not driving, getting their driver's licenses young.
I'm telling you, the pediatrician told me about a year ago. My oldest son's getting ready to be 18 in May. He has absolutely no interest in driving. He's scared to drive. He just doesn't want to. Right? My daughter just literally got her learners the day she could because she was I'm gonna start driving. You know what I mean? But the doctor had said something is Jaden, that's my oldest name. Is Jaden driving? And I'm no, he doesn't want to drive. And she's you would not believe how many kids do not want to drive these days. And I was literally driving at 12.
Oh, dude, I was
taking a car.
Yeah, I definitely took my parents' car to joyride around. Go to 7-Eleven.
Everyone did. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, but I was going to Winchester, Berryville. I was doing.
I would just go to the 7-Eleven to get some fucking Mountain Dew.
Yeah, but I was just a naturally good driver right from the jump.
I don't know what happened.
Everybody says that when you get in the car.
Yeah.
Everybody's I'm a great driver. Then you get in the car with them, and it's oh my fucking god, dude. Man, I got you. You knew who I got in the car with the other day, and it was like one of the scariest / most entertaining car rides I've ever had in my life.
Who's that?
Barbine. I got Michael Barbine. You know,
I don't doubt it.
I don't know who that
you know
is.
Mike Barbine. Sorry, I'm gonna call you out on this, man. So he gave me a ride to the open mic at Skyline, and he picked me up. He just brought his Westphalia from Texas, and I wanted to get a ride in it. I thought it was cool. Like, he has a like whole ass of, you know, I'm talking about the Volkswagen vans that got like the apartment in the back and shit. So he's like, yeah. So he's like, I get in. He's like, hey, you want to sit in the back? And I'm like, yeah. So I sat in the back for a few minutes, and I was like, oh, you know what? Let me go sit up front. It's kind of weird.
It's like breathing in this rag I got over here.
Bro. And so anyway, so we start going, and he's just like driving, and for no reason he just stops in the middle of like Royal, and he's like, just, yo, check this out. And I'm like, by the way, there's no seat belt up front. I'm like, oh fuck, maybe I should go back in the back. And dude, so he pulls over and he's like, oh, let me show you something real quick. And like people are beeping at us and stuff. He's like, dude, don't worry, we're in the VIP. And I was like, yo, this is fucking wild as shit. I don't even know why I'm telling the story right now, but anyways, he does get better. So we're driving, then he keeps getting a phone call, and a phone call. Finally, this motherfucker answers it, and it's a chick naked in a bathtub, like trying to have a conversation with him. And so I'm like, oh boy. I was like, that's wild. But yeah, it was and then also it was that night where it lightning. Do you remember that night where it lightning really hard? It was a big ass thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, I saw lightning strike in the parking lot over at Skyline. It like
That's
saw
crazy.
yeah, because when you see it, like there was a lot of ash that goes up in the air and shit. It was fucking wild, man. But yeah, dude, Barbon, that was a wild ass ride, man. That dude is an awesome guy, really nice. But also, he did say "fuck you" and "shut up" to me at least 3 times, and I was like, "What?" I was like, but just like the way he said it, I was like, "Oh, I don't actually want to punch him." I just like,
It's like a playful, like.
Yeah, I was like, man, this is wild. I was like, I'm not even. Well, no, I think it was more sexual. But
If somebody's driving bad with me, I'll just get out.
But
like, I'm not like, there's no way.
But my thought on it was
Like,
this
out.
this motherfucker drove from San Antonio, Texas, to Front Royal, Virginia, and he made it in one piece. And I
bet you he had police cars chasing him like Smokey and the Bandit and shit.
That thing went a maximum of 40 miles per hour, dude. I forgot to mention that part.
Oh yeah,
man.
dude.
We were fucking.
It took like a week to get here.
Yeah.
Jay had one of those, and I remember he drove it, and I got in it one time, and I was like, "Yeah, this is the slowest lumbering vehicle I've ever been in."
Yep.
But
They're
he would
not
show.
known for. Yeah.
He would also show me videos of it fording the river, so I was like, "Yeah, this is a Wookmobile."
Yeah, my parents had 2 of them, man. When I
Damn.
was growing up, yeah, they loved those things, man. They were fun. They had the stick shifts and everything. And it was like
The only person I knew had one was my librarian in the elementary school, and she also had one of those like weird desk chairs that you went on your knees and like climbed into it.
Oh,
Like
I
the
know
weird
those.
ones. Like,
Dang, she must have really impacted your life. Do you remember?
yeah, dude, they had all
Those
the
details about
dude,
her.
they had like that library was the
it
best.
wasn't
They
her,
had
it was the
every
chair.
horror, like they had Fangoria when in an elementary school, and they had like every like Universal horror book ever, and like every like scary story. So this lady, I think she was just into horror books. So
Fangoria. That's still a thing. Like.
oh yeah, dude,
they still-
Fangoria is the shit. That's how I learned how appliances worked in horror movies.
Mhm.
I was like, yo, Dawn of the Dead, they use pig guts?
Mm.
yummy.
The scariest moment I ever had driving was with her. And that's because some dude in a truck cut her off.
I'm
And she
going
raged
to follow
out.
him.
Yeah. She followed him all the way to an industrial
I'm like
park.
that. Have you ever seen that meme where it's like, I was having a bad day when you cut me off, but now I'm following you home. And it's a guy who's just smiling and totally calm. That was me. I was like, except I was going like every bit of 100 miles an hour. I needed to get his number because fuck that guy. He almost killed me and some other person that was driving along. Like, we were just innocent people.
So how'd it end?
He got
Well,
away.
that's how George and her met.
He got away, unfortunately.
Just kidding.
Yeah. I don't usually drive like that, but sometimes I do.
Yeah, I have a little bit of.
I do it
road
with a
rage
smile, though.
myself.
No,
I do
get
it
out
with
of
a smile.
here.
Yeah.
Do you drive like you perform at comedy shows?
You know, I don't know what got into me that night.
That was spicy, man. It was spicy. It was a good time though. You guys actually contributed quite a bit to the show, so it was,
Yeah, you know, I'm pretty comical sometimes, especially
Yeah.
with alcohol.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
good, man. Yeah, you would. I mean, Jimmy must be highly entertained at home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks forward to the end of the night. You
He's
know.
like, all right, wrap it up. Let's go. It's time for the green room.
Yeah.
Green room.
the green room.
Jim's not really go out to the bar type of guy.
I don't think I don't think I've seen you. I mean, you're a pretty distinguishable character.
I beg him to come out.
Yeah, you should come out, dude. You seem. I mean, dude, you got great jokes. I will tell you that much, man.
Daytime, dude.
Yeah.
You were throwing zingers in there the whole time, man.
Daytime, dude. Daytime. I'm a daytime partier.
Okay. He's a
drinker?
day walker.
Yeah.
The day walker. There any day walkers you're going to talk about this week?
Day walking.
No, not daywalkers. Just A24 films that I'm like really looking forward to.
A24 has been prolific.
Yeah, they have ever since I think their first movie
You know,
was
I
in
used to watch.
2013.
You're into horror movies, right?
Mhm.
So I don't really like them, but I mean, I did when I was younger, and I watched that freaking movie. The fuck was that?
The Exorcism or
Of
something.
Emily Rose, dude, and that scared the shit out of
Yeah.
me. And ever since then,
The weird, like
don't
she
watch
actually
them.
did all that contortion. She did that herself.
Yikes.
That was not
Dude.
like CGI.
that seemed so
Yeah.
freaking real that I was
She's
done.
really good at it.
I was like, I'm done.
I'm
Yeah.
a chicken.
No more.
I'm a Halloween girl for sure. Like my birthday's in August, but every birthday is always Halloween. I start decorating for Halloween in like July, and
Same
it's
here.
it's
Year
starting
round.
to get like earlier and earlier and earlier.
Yeah.
Like it used to be like September and then August and now July, and like we'll take a beach trip in June. I'm like, as soon as we get back, I'm pulling out all my Halloween stuff. But I'm not a scary movie girl. Like I literally am like a chicken when it comes down to
I
it.
love it.
I don't
love it.
like being scared. Like
Go
I
see
like-
Terrifier 3. There's no blood in it at all.
Don't listen
I
to 'em.
like, just happy.
I
happy
do.
Halloween.
I do like more thought-provoking horror than just like the regular slasher. Because
Yeah.
I like that one movie, Violent Nature. It just bored the shit out of me. It was done in the view of a guy who just was killing people, and there's no story behind it.
Yeah.
It was
I think
just,
also the fact that there was no
boring.
soundtrack, it was just nature sounds.
yeah.
Like it seemed like it was a cool premise, but like they didn't execute it
Yeah.
well.
No, they didn't. I mean, it was just boring. Skinamarink is another one of those.
Fuck
It's-
that movie.
It's a thought-provoking movie, but told in the eyes of a child, and it's boring as fuck. Like it's got to have a good story to it. It can't just be mindless.
I like
you
the
know.
true stories or the
Yeah.
so-called
Wolf Creek.
true.
Joe
Yeah,
Kenda.
that one's a good one. That's a good slasher, but also it is a true story.
Yeah.
That one's scary, especially.
The most violent
Yeah.
spine cutting I've ever seen in a movie where you do not see anything, you just hear it all.
Yeah. So, yeah, that one was pretty good. But I have 3 that I want to talk about. Oh, I have my own interview. I keep forgetting that. Here's the thing that I do with my thing. Yeah. So, we're gonna talk about A24. Only because like lately their movies have been on point. They don't just do horror movies. They don't just do drama or art house films. They do a lot of comedy. There's quite a few coming out. These are the 3 that are coming out that are horror related, sort of. So the first one already came out actually. You can get it on Prime. It's $19 right now to rent it. It's called Opus. This is debut director Mark Anthony Green. And the story is about a young writer who is invited to a compound of a legendary musician and then becomes embroiled in a twisted plan. That musician is played by John Malkovich, which I fucking love that guy.
Give this man his money.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting eaten.
Yes.
Somebody's getting eaten.
So I'm really looking forward to
Know
this
it.
movie. I don't think I'm going to rent it at $19. I'm going to wait for it to go on Shudder, but I've heard good things about it. So check it out. Here's one that I think you might like because it's a comedy. It's funny. Death of a Unicorn.
Yeah.
That comes out on the 28th.
I feel like I know this one.
Yeah,
Like,
it's directed by Alex Sharfman.
okay.
It's a father and a daughter unexpectedly run over a unicorn while en route to a crisis
Isn't that
management
Jason Bateman?
summit. The body is taken by the company and exploited for its curative properties. But then all hell breaks loose when the mama unicorn comes to exact revenge. So I thought it like the previews for it are hilarious to me, and I love unicorns, and the idea of a unicorn being fucking evil and like man eating entices me. I think that's gonna be hilarious. So that comes out on the 28th, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do the same thing with Opus, where it's $19 to rent it.
Bastards.
So yeah, usually that's how it goes.
They gotta make money though.
They gotta make money somehow. Now this last one, this is the one that I'm looking forward to the most. We all know the YouTubers. What were their names?
Oh,
Danny and Michael Filippo. I think that's how you pronounce it. They did Talk to Me. That was the largest,
oh yeah.
They did. It was the largest grossing horror movie for A24. So obviously, when they found they were making a script for something else, they jumped at the chance at working with these YouTubers again. This movie doesn't really have a lot of like teasers or even a trailer for it at this moment. They've been really quiet about it, and I think that they did the same thing with Talk to Me, which is an excellent fucking film. If you haven't seen that, check it out. It's on Prime right now, I believe, for free.
You know how they got their start?
How's that?
In making movies, they filmed a bunch of what they thought fatalities would look like from Mortal Kombat. And they did their own stunts and everything. Like they would have people drive at them, and they would jump and try to jump over a car, and it would clip them, and they would do different stuff with it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But I've definitely been looking forward. The only thing that they've teased is it is starring Sally Hawkins as a foster mother who has become host to a terrifying ritual that's held at her house. So I don't know. You probably would like Talk to Me. It's not a violent movie. It's kind of like a spooky sort of.
You're definitely not going to like the main character.
Yeah, you're not going to like her, but it is a very good movie. It was very well done. I'm glad that they didn't leak a lot of like trailers for the movie, because when I finally did get to see it, it was an absolute gem. I liked it so much I bought it like immediately. I was like, I got to see that again. That was crazy. So same directors, the brother duos are going to be doing Bring Her Back, and I think this is going to be a good one. This is actually going to hit theaters on May 30th of this year.
Bring Her Back.
Yes.
They also, guess what they have been tapped to make a movie of?
What's that?
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Never be as good as Jean-Claude Van Damme's
1992
film.
I will say that I went and saw that in the movie theaters with my parents.
Yeah, same.
And I was so fucking disappointed. You know why?
Why?
Fuck Guile. I ain't played with Guile not once.
Mm-hmm.
Ryu or Ken should have been the main character. I have so many complaints.
Balrog, man. Should have been Balrog. Remember the black
yeah, but
boxer?
and that should have been played by Mike Tyson, but
That
no,
would've been-
it
exactly.
wasn't.
That would have been the better movie. But
And DJ sucked. I have so many things to talk about.
Right. I
You
know
know
they're supposed to do Talk to Me Part 2.
Yeah.
I know that. I there's no release date, and I don't think it's in the works of filming yet.
Nope.
So
you know what a nice point about Street Fighter the movie was? That was Raul Julia's last movie.
Oh
he did.
yeah.
He was dying of cancer the whole time, and he made it to the set every day. But
Who replaced him in Addams Family? Was he in both of them?
I forget. Yeah, he was in both of them. That was after. It was like Street Fighter was way after, I think. But yeah, he did it because his grandkids loved Street Fighter so much, and that's what he wanted them to remember him by. So like, man, that shit is like, man, that's a tearjerker, dude. Watch that shit. I mean, it was like not the best movie, but also entertaining certain levels. I mean, I don't know. Jean-Claude Van Damme, you can't watch a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie and not be entertained. There's gonna be at least a couple roundhouse kicks that you'll be like, yeah, that shit was tight. That shit was tight. I like to eat mussels and fries and watch Jean-Claude Van Damme movies as a Belgian. It's a pastime I had since a child.
Yeah, the last thing I saw him do that was fucking wild was that commercial where they had him doing the splits in between two like tractor and trailers. But I bet that wasn't real.
Kumite.
I would pay good money though to see him and Steven Seagal fight for real.
Dude, Steven Seagal would get his ass whooped. Dude.
Oh, I know he would.
Come on, man. Jean-Claude Van Damme, that motherfucker is like 80 years old and still doing the splits. Like,
I mean, he
Steven Seagal is like eating a banana split.
Steven Seagal got beat up on the set of his own movie by a guy named Judo Gene LaBelle. Judo Gene LaBelle is he was the stunt
Judo Jingle Bell?
Judo Gene LaBelle. He's the guy that Brad Pitt's character is based on in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But he's the guy that drove the General Lee in the Dukes of Hazzard, and he's the stunt double for the Green Hornet. So he knew Bruce Lee. He taught him hip tosses and a bunch of other stuff. But apparently, he was the stunt producer for, I think it was Above the Law. And Steven Seagal said he could get out of a fully closed rear naked choke, a sleeper hold. And he said he reached down to try to hit him in the balls, but by that point, he had choked him unconscious. And then he said he pissed and shit his own pants.
Wow.
Yeah, but still, you know what? I still would love to party with Steven Seagal. He has that great reggae song. It's actually good. It's actually a good
not
song.
Good.
It's a good song. I like it. Did you know this? Steven Seagal has a reggae track, man, and he sings like Rastaman. Wow. Are you putting it on
Does
right
it
now?
sound like a white dude singing?
It sounds like Steven Seagal singing reggae.
Don't forget that Snow, Informer, that's a banger. I mean, that's another one where,
Okay, I'll give you that, I guess.
I don't know, man. I mean, like, white boy reggae is good. I like. All right, we're putting on the Steven Seagal track. What's it called again? It's got a great name. It's like Stroke My.
Me want the.
Yes, Me Want the Punani.
Punani.
Yes, Me Want the Punani is the name of the Steven Seagal reggae song.
And he wrote it.
Yes, get ready.
Wow.
Get ready to be tantalized. I love your face right now, Jim. This is gonna be exciting for you. Wait, he doesn't have headphones on. Oh, here. Listen to mine, dude. I've heard this song before.
That's not him.
I was gonna say.
It's advertised as him. Not bad.
I mean, the beat's good.
Yeah, the beat's good. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, you could
slap at a bass.
You could get lost.
Like, you know what? I probably had you just played this randomly, I would have never known it was him, and I wouldn't be lagging on it.
Yeah,
We should start. We should start finding jukeboxes to put it on.
Dude, you know what? That's not
And
bad.
then have a bunch of people dressed like Steven Seagal come in.
From different Steven Seagal movies.
Somebody's got to run through there.
Who's got a touch tunes in town? We can do this.
The
Naughty Pine.
The Naughty Pine.
They'll just turn that shit off like they always do.
No, they wouldn't. They would like, dude. You know, Richie would be like, yeah, fuck yeah.
I don't think the people that run it now would, but like when we went there last time, and it was the old management. That lady unplugged the goddamn jukebox because of Sublime.
Is the jukebox? Are we talking about the Pine?
Yeah.
Is the jukebox even in there?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. It's
I don't
never
know.
going anywhere, man.
I've only been a few times in the last year.
If you want to go listen to some Morgan Wallen, that's the spot to be at. Also, I do like the fact my favorite time on the jukebox at the Naughty Pine. It's also one of my favorite parts of karaoke is when like a young couple or a young aspiring couple comes up and sings that Kid Rock and
Sheryl
Crow song.
Yeah,
if you want to talk about like, I'm like, that is so gay. Like, I do not care about how much sex is gonna happen between you two. This is gay as fuck. Sorry to use that term derogatorily. The day after Transgender Identification Day, but I did do some. You know what? Yesterday I did have some. I got to do jokes, and my friend Ashley was there. My new friend Ashley. And she is a transgender lady, and she was super nice about letting me do my jokes because I got to call out Ozzy on her, how she changes her pronoun all the time because she thinks it's cool. And I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? I said, you're they, them, what the fuck this week? And then I just said,
Dude, Ozzy had on alpaca. She looked like she shoved her foot up a goat's ass yesterday. She looked like she...
Now, Ozzy, that you don't know, in order for the studio audience, is a young lady who is very eccentric and fancies to be an aspiring stand-up comedian as well. She thinks she's 18 or 19 years old, and we have you remember in the bathroom at Catamount we have the bobby pins, the tampons, and the cactus.
Yeah.
So I do a joke about it, and so I didn't even get to the punchline on the joke one night, and I'm like, yeah, and we also have a cactus. And before I get to my my punchline about why we have a cactus there. This young lady, and she always has some crazy ass fucking hair. She's like, yeah, because I stuck it up my ass. It was just, it was very impressive. I mean, like, it's not that like her daddy issues were that prevalent, like that's very much I think when you're discussing about, sodomizing yourself with the cactus. She took a picture of herself blowing the cactus this week,
and then showed it on stage.
Yes, and showed it on stage. So it's not like this girl she's going to be a great entertainer in some shape, form, or fashion. But anyways, I just like wonder what like all I know. There's a bunch of pervy old dudes in the crowd who are like, dude, yeah, man.
Sully probably couldn't stand up.
Sully, man. Yeah. He could.
He just sailboated his way out.
Like, it's funny they used to call me Cactus Cock back in the Marines. Old Captain Cactus Cock.
Jesus Christ.
That's a great name.
It was, but turned out it was just syphilis.
He's like, I got burnt
Damn.
twice.
Oh man. On that note,
Oh man. What time is it? I can't. What time is it?
Tis 8:58.
8:58.
Well, let's start wrapping this up.
Yeah.
So, where can people find all of your wonderful spa services at?
Well, of course, on Facebook, we have a Facebook page, Relax and Revive MedSpa, or www.relaxandrevivemedSpa.com. Everything's posted there, but we do free consultations, free skin analysis, anything that we can do for free, we try to. So,
But
if you're looking for anything,
You're gonna get some microdermabrasion.
you can,
Yeah.
but you cannot get a Brazilian.
no, right
Those are
now, actually, I did have a master esthetician reach out to me and ask if we were hiring. I told him, we were not, but what was she interested in? And she said she was a waxing specialist. So I was supposed to meet her.
Traumatized eyes. He was like,
Yeah.
Not again.
Not me.
She was a waxing specialist, so might be having somebody that comes and does waxing. But I really promote the laser hair removal.
All right.
Chris is gonna come before pool season.
Yeah, damn right, man. I want to get patterns drawn in me, man.
Get his
Like, I
bikini
want to have
bottom.
I want to get hearts around my nipples.
It's got to be dark hair, though.
I want to get like little feet, like more. I want to get footprints going down like my down my chest. No, I don't have like, unfortunately or fortunately, because of the tattoos and my blonde hair, it's not coming out. Dude.
Yeah, no.
Like,
Yeah,
I like
unfortunately.
Listen, I did try to join the women's group that one time.
Yeah, I had to. I didn't have enough
You sent me
time.
the invite on it. I was like, oh,
I sent my whole
I'm down
friends list the invite, and you were like one of my only
I know. So I was like, yeah,
Jim.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Oh, that could have been us, dude. We could have been like, we could have been Brazilian bros, dude.
Yeah.
Just look like fucking two lanes of
Like
a bowling alley.
Copacabana
Besties of the
Beach.
Shenandoah Valley.
I used to get deleted off Facebook once a month. Anyway.
God damn, dude! What controversial opinions you got?
No, I'm talking.
He
about
said
my wife.
earlier we went over this.
He lies.
her.
He lies.
Oh yeah. Hey. So Jim, actually, we should plug Jim. Jim has a business in town as well.
Plug it.
Yeah.
Plug your shit, dog.
Well, I've owned a painting business for 20 years, probably. Triple J Painting. I painted everything around here: the courthouse,
Like
jail,
commercial, residential.
schools, RMA.
Big jobs.
Yeah, I've painted just about every fucking thing. You can
Setting up
paint.
scaffolding.
All that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if you need a big ass paint job, this big ass dude will come out and
That's
do a
right.
big ass job for you.
That's right.
No,
good-ass job.
he just rides around these days, living the life.
Well, that's what you're supposed. That's what you're
Yeah.
supposed.
Fuck yeah.
Thanks for the encouragement.
Do
Yeah.
it.
Thanks for having my back.
He's put in his labor.
Yeah,
Now
dude.
it's my turn.
Fuck that. Don't fall off no scaffolding.
Yeah.
Get somebody else to
That's
climb up
right.
that son of a
That's
bitch.
right.
Yeah.
I gotta go get the jobs.
Yeah.
I estimated this son of a
That's
bitch.
right.
Yeah. He wins the women over. The
Yeah,
women clientele, they love him.
You like show up with your shirt off.
Let's wrap it up.
You don't want to know what I have to do, man.
Show's about
Blink twice if you're all right, Jim.
Chris, what comedy you got coming up?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who came out on Saturday night to the Catamount Lounge for the incredible Isaac Ignacio and company show. Carson Hale, Ace Jackson, Jenner Coker, Songbird, Tina Marie, Eddie Hoffman, myself, Connor Williams. It was a really awesome show. Thank you to Stone Branch Arts Center and to Chad the Claw Kinsey for lending us the spotlight and stage that made the successful event. And if you didn't make it, we have another event coming up on the 12th of April, which is going to be Mullets and Mary Jane. Headliner is going to be our man Eddie Hoffman. There's a lineup to come out this week. I'll be at King's Dominion tomorrow. We're meeting up with Jordan, my daughter, who is also an alumni of the show, and we're gonna go and ride some rides and
Fuck yeah.
eat some funnel cake and all that shit you do at King's Dominion. I mean, we're actually gonna get the airbrush shirts.
I love that. I
Yeah.
did that at the beach last year. I got the whole family airbrush shirts.
You got, man, this is
Yeah.
tight, man. I'm trying to figure out who I'm gonna be putting on like.
I know.
I'm trying to figure out who's in RSW right now so I can get a free and then like whoever it is
There you go.
and show up outside, be like, yo, what's up? Like a No Limit Soldiers video.
Yeah, you guys should bond somebody out once a week. Or something.
Dude, that's not a bad. That is a
For
fucking.
real. And then bring them on.
great
And then bring
idea.
them on
Bring
here.
them on the show.
Oh, jeez.
You're a
That's
goddamn
part-
genius,
Perfect.
Jim. You're
Yeah.
fucking yes.
Got to be pretty nonchalant charges though, because you're
Yeah.
going to have to
Less
be
than
responsible for
$1,000
them.
bond too. That's
I
gotta be the
actually
max.
really like that idea, man. That is.
Can they still have the ankle bracelet
Oh
on?
my god, we have to talk some sponsorships, man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk some of these bonds companies.
Hey,
be like,
look,
look,
it's $1,000 bond. You pay $100.
yep, that's not bad.
I'll be the first sponsor if you found somebody. Okay.
Damn, dude, I can't believe this is happening right now.
Triple J Painting's gonna sponsor the first.
I have
Out
another.
of jail.
Okay, well, I'm into that. There's also one other cause that I need to bring up, and it's on behalf of Isaac, myself, Ace. We are trying to save Hooters. So anytime that you are within the vicinity of Hooters, make your way there. Challenge yourself to get the Millionaire's Meal. See if they have it. They used to have it all the time, but now it's like one of those things you have to order ahead of time. It's where they give you a bottle of Dom Perignon and 20 wings.
I celebrated my 21st birthday in Manassas Hooters.
R.I.P. It's no longer there.
I know.
They were one of the first casualties, and so in order for us to have less Hooter casualties, we need our, the Bargoyle. We advertise this on the Bargoyles. We were going to advertise it on Helltown Radio. Save the Hooters. Give a hoot. Make your way to Hooters. It's a very big standpoint for me these days. I'm free the nipple as well and liberate the labia.
Empowering.
It was.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Lita, what do you have coming up in terms of your art?
All right. I've been making some snails. I've been making some jewelry. I've got like a few oddities, and I have really cool pictures that you guys want to at least come and gawk at the 37th Annual Virginia Wine and Craft Festival this year in Front Royal, May 17th. Come to my little tent, buy stuff, or just look at stuff, or say hi to me, because I like company. You can't miss it. It's a big black tent with a weird, silly snail. Well, that is odd. You can also find me on Instagram. Well, that is odd. All _, or just look me up by my name on Facebook, and again on Instagram, Lita Diamond.
Love that.
You can go over to the newest Capital MMA location in Herndon. The soft opening is this Saturday, the 5th. We have 9 locations now around the DMV. Go out, train some jiu-jitsu, lift some weights, do some Muay Thai, strangle some people for fun. I don't know.
Soft opening.
You guys teach rear naked chokes. That's what I've always wanted to do, a rear naked choke to somebody. I think I could be
I could
pretty
teach you how
successful.
to do it right now.
I'm pretty sure I know how to do it. How
So,
do you approach somebody for a rear naked choke?
if they're
You just-
sitting in
you just
front of
come
you,
up
it's
behind
rather
them?
easy.
Yeah, right.
Just shoot your arm down and get you basically you want the inside of your elbow right against the trachea.
Yeah.
Bring your forearm up because you want to cut off both the carotid arteries. As soon as you get it, they're going to try to grab this hand, so you're going to actually press your hand against the back of your own hand, slide it behind their head.
Oh, wow, yeah.
As soon as you get there, pull your elbows together, duck your head down,
Yeah.
and squeeze down, up, and in.
Okay.
And
Jim?
you'll put them to sleep.
I'm doing that to you tonight, Jim.
Keep this video.
Dude, this is gonna be this is gonna be like I'm gonna be watching Lieutenant Joe Kenda, and they're gonna be like they're Front Royal, Virginia. She choked him out.
Yeah.
And then we were like, and then
I
shows
love
the
that,
show,
though.
and then we're the actual. They're like actual footage.
This is
I
where
mean,
she learned
So
it.
you got to hold it like 2 minutes to kill them,
Dude.
but you can hold it a minute and make them mentally challenged.
Dog, stop.
or probably just like a few seconds and they're out.
Yeah, 3 seconds they'll go
my
out, but you got to hold. You got to cut off the blood flow to the
Yeah.
brain because it's only like 15% of the blood flow that you cut off before they fall asleep.
Parody.
Yeah.
Where's the parody
Nice.
right now? This is parody.
Yeah.
Jokes.
That was
Jokes and
hilarious.
chokes. Yeah, it's your week. Suplex that son bitch.
Well, that was very fun. I loved that.
2 fingers in the pee hole is far worse than 1 in the butthole.
That's true.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.